Hey guys, so the new hero is out. It is Jett, the Alliance Wanderer. Knowing that we are generally going to be saving our keys and miracle eyes for heaven and hell, also knowing that they've increased the number of key rounds to 5, it kind of becomes a lot more of a game to choose which heroes are and are not worth it. So I'm going to give a overview of all his skills and a little bit of a review. We did some in-depth testing, maybe not that in-depth, but some testing on him on stream, and I'll give my thoughts on how he did at the end of the video. So this guy is going to be very, very complicated. He has a completely different set of abilities, whether he's in front or in back. So let's go take a look. Okay, so from here we're on the Chinese client. This is T5 Red Jett. This is his stats. You can see his stats are really nothing special. He basically has the same stats as Lightning. He's extremely slow, and he's a wanderer, so he does come with hit rate and dodge, which is useful. This is going to be... I kind of debated how I wanted to go through his abilities, but I think I'm just going to go through them one by one and list the front and then the back, and then give like a quick summary of front and back version of him and what he does. So his ability, it hits 4 people, 235% damage. If he's in the front row, it does a 70% chance to stop the enemy from releasing basic attacks or being able to crit. So this is kind of like disarming like Emir. So this is actually pretty good. 70% chance is very high on 4 people. If he's in the back, and this is what we all wanted him for, this is the Nyx counter. It breaks their shield by 70%. It removes all extra HP or it reduces all their future shields, and it reduces extra HP effect. I don't actually know what that part means, but it reduces the extra shield by 70% for 3 rounds. Now, here is an example of how this works. Here, this is an 8-star Jett landing his shield break on a T5 red Nyx, doing 4.4 million damage to the shield. And because it does say 70% here, but at 8-star it's only 55%, so it would have been much higher if he was actually higher star. But this is an 8-star Jett doing 4.4 million damage to his shield. So you can see that if you're struggling with Nyx's shield, this is really, really going to be an effect. Now, what people might say is, well, he took 4.4 million damage. Doesn't that mean he's going to reflect all that right back at you? And the answer is no, he's not. This shield break effect is not listed as damage taken. So at the end of the battle in the stats, Jett will not have that 4.4 million damage, and Nyx will not have that 4.4 million damage taken. It will not be part of it. And I've proven this with the stats at the end of the battle. So you don't have to worry about taking extra reflect damage from that. So this alone is actually very, very big for people that are struggling against Nyxes with even higher HP and stuff like that. This guy can single-handedly do like 7 million damage to Nyx, and that's a big help for if you're struggling timing out versus him all the time. Additionally, it removes all his self-abnormal status. That's like bleed, burn, poison, and all that. And then it does an extra 280% damage to people that are under 50% HP. So, yeah, that part's nothing special. So as you can see, if he's in the front, he's like general use. If he's in the back, he's very anti-Nyx. So, in the his passive 1, when he's in the front, he gains 40% dodge and 30% extra healing. When he's in the back, he gains extra crit damage plus 40%, and he ignores their damage reduction by 35%. So this gets him through a lot of like Azathoth and all of that. And on top of that, when he fires his skill, he gains the effect of both. No matter where he is, it'll act as if he gets both of these at once, and the effects are doubled for 2 rounds. So if he fires his skill, he gets 80% dodge, 60% healing, 80% crit damage, 70% ignore damage. Like, those are very big numbers, but his attack stat is not so high that I think he can really, really bring the damage. So I'm not sure how much exactly that could be used. He could potentially be like an interesting dodge tank because when he fires his skill, he gets 110% dodge because Wanderers get a native 30%. But because he's so slow, it's going to be very hard for you to get that off in time for anything. So keep that in mind. Passive 2 AI Control Terminal. This is his regular attack. When he's in the front, his regular attack is melee mode. It hits one person with the highest attack for 220% damage, reduces their defense by 15 for 2 turns, heals himself 220% for 2 turns. And when he's in the back, his attack is long range mode, hits 4 people, 140% damage, deals 90% burn, bleed, and poison. So this does make him potentially useful for Void Boss. And then adds his own crit rate, 45% for 2 rounds. So his normal attack is much better in back than in front. A lot more useful. But if he's in front, you do get the damage reduction. So, play around with that one and decide which one you need more. And finally, his passive 3 is something called Chase. This is anytime your allies do an attack or a skill, he shoots his spear like a gun at one random enemy for 245% damage. It can crit, but does not give him energy, and also does not give them energy. So it's basically just free damage out of nowhere. This one, it looks cool, but honestly, this is, like, it's not enough damage to matter. Like, when people are doing damage in the tens of millions, him doing another, 50,000 damage is really not going to affect anything. So this ability, honestly, is kind of trash. I don't know. Maybe they just thought they'd try something new with, like, new concept of adding extra attacks within the rounds, which is, if they can play with that, maybe they can do bigger things with it. So basically, to sum up, in front, he's an all-rounder. He's a disabler. He does, he's basically just a disabler, and he's like a dodge tank, kind of a heavy-duty, sturdy hero in front. In back is where he does the shield breaking and a really good regular attack. However, if he's in back and you've got nobody with a shield, his skill becomes useless. So it's like, why bother? So here is what happens. I tried him out, and I really only had an 8-star one, but you can get an idea of how he works. Against Nyx, you were able to see that he's capable of doing a lot of damage to Nyx. He doesn't need to be faster than Nyx because he just does his damage. If Nyx has less than 70% of his shield, this probably just zeroes it out and immediately sends him into charge mode. But it's a humongous amount of damage that you can't give up. So as a Nyx counter, I think he's not bad. But the thing is, aside from his skill breaking Nyx's shield, the rest of his stuff is going to be pretty useless. The regular attack, as nice as it is not useful for PvP. And his own damage is honestly not going to be super high. So he's just kind of there as like solely to do extra damage to Nyx, and then by extension Watchman and Lorelei. Watchman got hit by these buffs pretty big with the shield counter stuff, but oh well. So the thing is, if you don't already have 2 full honor teams and you're looking for a filler, he can do a really good job as a filler to really help you against those people that love to troll with solo Nyxes or whatever that is. He can do pretty good against those. But if you're looking, if you already have like a single really strong team and you're trying to slot Jett into there, it's not going to work. You're better off having a top tier hero there instead of Jett. So my summary of him is basically that. Is if you're looking for a filler hero, he's pretty solid. He doesn't need to be top star. I feel like if he's T4, T5 raw or something, he'll survive long enough to do a lot of damage, especially considering when he fires his skill, he gets the extra dodge and extra healing. So I think that he'll have that ability to be really good for that. But that's it. That's pretty much all you'll need, a T4 or a T5. So if you're willing to pull enough to get to there, I think he's well worth the slot. If you're just looking at having a couple of copies, 4 copies, 5 copies, he's basically useless to you. So if you're looking for a filler, definitely go ahead and pull for him. I think he's going to do really good as a Nyx counter. He's going to be really useless everywhere else. I feel like his only usefulness aside from being a Nyx counter is his disarm when he's in front. And as fun as that is, again, there's so many better heroes in PvE, or better heroes for PvE, that it's hard to build him for that purpose when he is sorely outclassed. So, and also I guess him being in the back can break Watchman shields if you're struggling with Watchman in Planet Trial and all of that. So really, I think he's a fun hero. I think he's got a lot of potential. My limited amount of testing is probably not enough to see what he's fully capable of, but I really don't see that he has the ability to work his way into the meta. Let's just put it bluntly, he's definitely not meta, but he is a Nyx counter, and in that regard, he's definitely not a terrible hero, just a very specialized one. And whether or not we start seeing more specialized heroes in the future, I don't know. We do know that everybody is basically complaining to the devs nonstop about Nyx because we are playing Nyx heroes. And so this and the new mythic upgrade to the 88% warrior artifact are their ways of trying to counter Nyx. I don't think they're the right ways. The easiest way is just to nerf Nyx himself, but we'll see if the devs ever reach that point. So that is my call for Jett. Honestly, if you're in a position like I am where you have two full honor teams, I don't see myself ever being able to use him. I'm going to pull one round of keys and just call it a day. If he had been more fun, I would have just pulled all my keys for him, but I don't think he's good enough to warrant that, and oh well. So that is all for Jett. I hope this helped you determine whether or not you think he's worth your time or not. He is good for some people, not good for everybody, and that is your call as to which one of those categories you fall into. So that is all about Jett, and I hope this helps. See you guys next time.